Chapter 4 Maps. You have learnt in the previous chapter about the advantages of globe. However, globe has limitations as well. A globe can be useful when we want to study the earth as a whole, but when we want to study only a part of the earth, as about our country, states, districts, towns and villages, it is a little help. In such a situation, we use maps. A map is a representation or a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it drawn on a flat surface according to a scale, but it is impossible to flatten a round shape completely. We find that maps are useful to us for various purposes. One map shows a small area and a few facts. Another map may contain as many facts as a big book. When many maps are put together, we get an atlas. When many maps are put together, we get an atlas. Atlases are of various sizes, measurements drawn on different scales. Maps provide more information than a globe. They are of different types. Some of them are described below. Physical maps. Maps showing natural features of the earth such as mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, oceans, etc. are called physical or relief maps. Political maps. Maps showing cities, towns and villages and different countries and states of the world with their boundaries are called political maps. Thematic maps. Some maps focus on special information such as road maps, rainfall maps, maps showing distribution of forests, industries, etc. are known as thematic maps. Suitable titles are given on the basis of information provided in these maps. There are three components of maps: distance, direction and symbol. Distance. Maps are drawings which reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper, or we can say maps are drawn to reduced scales, but this reduction is done very carefully so that the distance between the places is real. It can only be possible when a small distance on paper represents a large distance on the ground. Therefore, a scale is chosen for this purpose. Scale is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. For example, the distance between your school and your home is 10 kilometers. If you show this 10 kilometers distance by 2 centimeters on a map, it means 1 centimeter on the map will show 5 kilometers on the ground. The scale of your drawing will be 1 centimeter is equals to 5 kilometers. Thus, scale is very important in any map. If you know the scale, you will be able to calculate the distance between any two places on a map. When large areas like continents or countries are to be shown on a paper, then we use a small scale. For example, 5 centimeters on the map shows 500 kilometers of the ground. It is called a small scale map. When a small area like your village or town is to be shown on paper, then we use a large scale, that is 5 centimeters. On the map shows 500 meters only on the ground. It is called a large scale map. Large scale maps give more information than small scale maps. Direction. Most maps contain an arrow marked with the letter N at the upper right hand corner. This arrow shows the north direction. It is called the north line. When you know the north, you can find out the other directions. For example, east, west and south. There are four major directions: north, south, east and west. They are called cardinal points. Other four intermediate directions are northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. We can locate any place more accurately with the help of these intermediate directions. Find out the following directions from the figure 4.1. A. The directions of the community center, the playground from Vikas house. B. The direction of school from shops. We can find out the direction of a place with the help of compass. It is an instrument used to find out main directions. Its magnetic needle always points towards north to south direction. Symbols. It is the third important component of a map. It is not possible to draw on a map the actual shape and size of different features such as buildings, roads, bridges, trees, railway lines, or a well. So, they are shown by using certain letters, shades, colors, pictures, and lines. These symbols give a lot of information in a limited space. With the use of these symbols, maps can be drawn easily and are simple to read. Even if you don't know the language of an area and therefore cannot ask someone for directions, you can collect information from maps with the help of these symbols. Maps have a universal language. Maps have a universal language that can be understood by all. There is an international agreement regarding the use of these symbols. There is an international agreement regarding the use of these symbols. These are called conventional symbols. Some of the conventional symbols are shown in the figure 4.3. Various colors are used for the same purpose. For example, generally blue is used for showing water bodies, brown for mountain, yellow for plateau, and green is used for plains. Next one, sketch. A sketch is drawing mainly based on memory and spot observation and not to scale. Sometimes a rough drawing is required of an area to tell where a particular place is located with respect to other places. Suppose you want to go to your friend's house but you don't know the way. Your friend may make a rough drawing to show the way to his house. Such a rough drawing is drawn without scale and is called a sketch map. Plan. A plan is a drawing of a small area on a large scale. A large scale map gives lot of information, but there are certain things which we may sometimes want to know. For example, the length and breadth of a room, which can't be shown in a map. At that time, we can refer drawings drawn to scale called a plan. Answer the following questions briefly. What are the three components of a map? What are the four cardinal directions? What do you mean by the term the scale of the map? How are maps more helpful than a globe? Distinguish between a map and a plan. Which map provides detailed information? How do symbols help in reading maps? Tick the correct answers. Maps showing distribution of forests are physical map, thematic map, political map. Physical map shows distribution of forests. The blue color is used for water bodies, mountains, plains, water bodies. A compass is used to show symbols to find the main direction, to measure distance, to find the main direction. A scale is necessary for a map, for a sketch, for symbols, for a map. Major domains of the earth. As you have read in the first chapter, the earth is the only planet which has life. Human beings can live here because the life sustaining elements of land, water and air are present on the earth. The surface of the earth is a complex zone in which three main components of the environment meet, overlap and interact. The solid portion of the earth is on which we live is called lithosphere. The gaseous layers that surround the earth is the atmosphere, where oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and other gases are found. Water covers a very big area of the earth's surface and this area is called the hydrosphere. The hydrosphere comprises water in all its forms, that is ice, water and water vapor. The biosphere is the narrow zone where we find land, water and air together, which contains all forms of life. In the Greek language, lithos means stone, atmos means vapor, hudor means water and bios means life. Lithosphere. The solid portion of the earth is called the lithosphere. It comprises the rocks of the earth's crust and the thin layers of soil that contain nutrient elements which sustain organisms. There are two main divisions of the earth's surface. The large land masses are known as the continents and the huge water bodies are called the ocean basins. All the oceans of the world are connected with one another. Look at the map of the world. Are all the land masses connected with one another? The level of seawater remains the same everywhere. Elevation of land is measured from the level of the sea, which is taken as 0. This is the map. Continents and oceans. The highest mountain peak, Mount Everest, is 8,848 meters above the sea level. The greatest depth of 11,022 meters is recorded at Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean. Could you imagine that the depth of the sea is much more than the highest point? Continents. There are 7 major continents. They are separated by large water bodies. These continents are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. Look at the map of the world and notice that the greater part of the land mass lies in the northern hemisphere. Asia is the largest continent. It covers about 1/3 of the total land area of the earth. The continent lies in the eastern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent. The Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent, Asia. Asia is separated from Europe by Ural Mountains on the west. The combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called the Eurasia, Europe plus Asia. Europe is smaller than Asia. The continent lies to the west of Asia. The Arctic Circle passes through it. It is bound by water bodies on 3 sides. Look at the map of the world and locate it. Africa. Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. The equator or 0-degree latitude runs almost through the middle of the continent. A large part of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere. Look at the figure 5.1. You will find that it is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn pass. The Sahara Desert, the world's largest hot desert, is located in Africa. The continent is bound on all sides by oceans and seas. Look at the map of the world, figure 5.1. You will notice that the world's longest river, the Nile, flows through Africa. The river the Nile flows through Africa. Notice where the equator, the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn pass in the map of Africa. North America is the third largest continent of the world. It is linked to South America by a very narrow strip of land called the Isthmus of Panama. Isthmus of Panama. The continent lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere. 3 oceans surround this continent. Can you name these oceans? South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere, which 2 oceans surround it on the east and the west. The Andes, world's longest mountain range, runs through its length from north to south. South America has the world's largest river, the Amazon. South America has the world's largest river, the Amazon. Australia is the smallest continent that lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. It is surrounded on all sides by the oceans and seas. It is called an island continent. Australia is called an island continent. Antarctica, completely in the southern hemisphere, is a huge continent. The South Pole lies almost at the center of this point. As it is located in the South Polar region, it is permanently covered with the thick ice sheets. There are no permanent human settlements. Many countries have research stations in Antarctica. India has also research stations there. These are named as Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. After continents is now hydrosphere. The continent is called the earth is called the blue planet. The earth is called the blue planet. More than 71% of the earth is covered with water and 29% is with land. Hydrosphere consists of water in all its forms, as running water in oceans and rivers in lakes, ice in glaciers, underground water, and the water vapor in atmosphere all comprise the hydrosphere. More than 97% of the Earth's water is found in the oceans is too salty for human use. A large proportion of the rest of the water is in the form of ice sheets and glaciers or under the ground, and very small percentage available as fresh water for human use. Hence, despite being a blue planet, we face a shortage of water. Hence, despite being a blue planet, Earth is a blue planet, we face a shortage of water. Oceans. Oceans are the major part of hydrosphere. They are all interconnected. The oceans are always moving. The three chief movements of ocean waters are the waves, the tides, and the ocean currents. The five major oceans are the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Southern Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean in order to their size. The Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. It is spread over one third of the Earth. Mariana Trench. The deepest part of the Earth lies in the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is almost circular in shape. Asia, Australia, North and South America surrounded it. Look at the map and find out the location of the continents around the Pacific Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean in the world. It is S-shaped. It is flanked by the North and South Americas on the western side, and the Europe and Africa on the eastern side. The coastline of Atlantic Ocean is highly indented. This irregular and indented coastline provides ideal location for natural harbors and ports. From the point of view of commerce, it is the busiest ocean. Atlantic Ocean is the busiest ocean. The Indian Ocean is the only ocean named after a country, that is India. The shape of ocean is almost triangular. In the north, it is bound by Asia. In the west by Africa. In the east by Australia. The Southern Ocean encircles the continent of Antarctica and extends northward to 60 degrees south latitude. The Arctic Ocean is located within the Arctic Circle and surrounds the North Pole. It is connected with the Pacific Ocean by a narrow stretch of shallow water known as Bering Strait. It is bounded by northern coasts of North America and Eurasia. Atmosphere. The Earth is surrounded by a layer of gas called the atmosphere. This thin blanket of air is an integral and important aspect of the planet. It provides us with the air we breathe and protects us from the harmful effects of sun rays. The atmosphere extends up to a height of about 1600 kilometers. The atmosphere is divided into 5 layers based on composition, temperature, and other properties. These layers, starting from Earth's surface, are called troposphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, the thermosphere, and the exosphere. The atmosphere is composed mainly of nitrogen and oxygen, which makes up about 99% of clean dry air. Nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, and other gases like carbon dioxide, argon, and others comprise 1% by volume. Oxygen is the breath of life, while nitrogen helps in the growth of living organisms. Carbon dioxide, though present in a minute amount, is important as it absorbs heat radiated by the earth. Carbon dioxide, though present in a minute amount, is important as it absorbs heat radiated by the earth. Therefore, thereby keeping the planet warm. It is also essential for the growth of plants. The density of the atmosphere varies with height. It is maximum at the sea level and decreases rapidly as we go up. The climbers experience problems in breathing due to this decrease in the density of air. They have to carry with them oxygen cylinders to be able to breathe at high altitudes. The temperature also decreases as we go upwards. The atmosphere exerts pressure on the earth. This varies from place to place. Some areas experience high pressure and some areas low pressure. Air moves from high pressure to low pressure. Moving air is known as wind. Biosphere, the domain of life. The biosphere is the narrow zone of contact between the land, water, and air. It is in this zone that life that is unique to this planet exists. There are several species of organisms that vary in size from microbes and bacteria to huge mammals. All the living organisms, including humans, are linked to each other and to biosphere for survival. The organisms in the biosphere may broadly be divided into the planet kingdom and the animal kingdom. The three domains of the earth interact with each other and affect each other in some way or the other. For example, cutting of forests for fulfilling our needs of wood or clearing land for agriculture may lead to fast removal of soil from slopes. Similarly, Earth's surface may be changed due to natural calamities like earthquakes. For example, there could be submergence of land, as happened in the case of tsunami recently. Parts of Andaman and Nicobar Islands were submerged underwater. Discharge of waste material into lakes and rivers makes the water unsuitable for human use. It also damages other humans of life. Emission from industries, thermal power plants and vehicles pollute the air. Carbon dioxide CO2 is important constituent of air, but increase in the amount of CO2 leads to increase in global temperatures. This termed is as global warming. There is thus a need to limit the use of resources of the earth to maintain the balance of nature and between the domains of the lithosphere, the atmosphere and the hydrosphere. There is thus a need to limit the use of resources of the earth to maintain the balance of nature between the domains of the lithosphere, the atmosphere and the hydrosphere. The Earth in the Solar System, Chapter 1. How wonderful it is to watch the sky after sunset. One would first notice one or two bright dots shining in the sky. Soon you would see the number increasing. You cannot count them anymore. The whole sky is filled with tiny shining objects. Some are bright, others dim. It seems as if the sky is studded with diamonds. They all appear to be twinkling. But if you look at them carefully, you will notice that some of them do not twinkle as others do. They simply glow without any flicker, just as the moon shines. Along with these bright objects, you may also see the moon on most of the days. It may, however, appear at different times in different shapes and at different positions. You can see the full moon only once in about a month's time. It is full moon night or Purnima. A fortnight later, you can see it all. It is a new moon night or Amavasya. On this day, you can watch the night sky best, provided it is clear night. Do you wonder why we can't we see the moon and all those bright tiny objects during daytime? It is because the bright light of the sun does not allow us to see all these bright objects of the night sky. The sun, the moon and all those objects shining in the night sky are called celestial bodies. Some celestial bodies are very big and hot. They are made up of gases. They have their own heat and light, which they emit in large amounts. These celestial bodies are called stars. The sun is a star. Countless twinkling stars in the night sky are similar to the sun, but we do not feel their heat or light, and they look so tiny because they are very, very, very far from us. You must notice that all objects look smaller when seen from a distance. How small an aeroplane looks when it is flying at a great height. While watching the night sky, you may notice various patterns formed by different groups of stars. These are called constellations. Ursa Major or Big Bear is one such constellation. One of the most easily recognizable constellation is the Saptarshi. Sapta means seven, Rishi means sages. It is a group of 7 stars that forms a part of Ursa Major constellation. Ask someone elder in your family or neighborhood to show you more stars, planets, and constellations in the sky. In ancient times, people used to determine directions during the night with the help of stars. The North Star indicates the north direction. It is called the pole star. It always remains in the same position in the sky. We can look at the position of the pole star with the help of Saptarshi. Look at you figure 1.1. You will notice that if an imaginary line is drawn joining the pointer stars and extended further, it will point to the pole star. Some celestial bodies do not have their own heat and light. They are lit by the light of the stars. Such bodies are called planets. The word planet comes from the Greek word plantia, which means wanderers. The earth on which we live is a planet. It gets all its heat and light from the sun, which is our nearest star. If we look at the earth from a great distance, say the moon, it will appear to be shining just as the moon. The moon that we see in the sky is a satellite. It is a companion of our earth and moves around it. Like our earth, there are 7 other planets that get heat and light from the sun. Some of them have their moons too. Next, solar system. The sun, 8 planets, satellites, and other some celestial bodies known as asteroids and meteorites form the solar system. We often call it a solar family with the sun as its head. The sun is in the center of the solar system. It is huge and made up of extremely hot gases. It provides the pulling force that binds the solar system. The sun is the ultimate source of heat and light for the solar system, but the tremendous heat is not felt so much by us because despite being our nearest star, it is far away from us. The sun is about 150 million kilometers away from the earth. Planets. There are 8 planets in our solar system in order of their distance from the sun. They are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. An easy way to memorize the name of the planets in order of their distance from the sun is: my very efficient mother just served us nuts. My very efficient mother just served us nuts. All the 8 planets of the solar system move around the sun in fixed paths. These paths are elongated. They are called orbits. Mercury is the nearest to the sun. It takes only about 88 days to complete one round along its orbit. Venus is considered as Earth's twin because its size and shape very much similar to that of Earth. Till recently, August 2006, Pluto was also considered as a planet. However, in a meeting of the International Astronomical Union, a decision was taken that Pluto, like other celestial bodies, Ceres 2003 UB, discovered in recent past, may be called dwarf planets. The Earth is the third nearest planet to the sun. In size, it is the 5th largest planet. It is slightly flattened at the poles. That is why its shape is described as a geode. Geode means an earth-like shape. Conditions favorable to support life are probably found only on the earth. The earth is neither too hot nor too cold. It has water and air, which are very essential for our survival. The earth has life supporting gases like oxygen. Because of these reasons, the earth is a unique planet in the solar system. From the outer space, the earth appears blue because its 2/3 surface is covered by water. It is therefore called a blue planet. The moon. Our earth has only one satellite, that is the moon. Its diameter is only 1/4 that of the earth. It appears so big because it is nearer to our planet than other celestial bodies. It is about 3,84,400 kilometers away from us. Now you can compare the distance of the earth from the sun and that from the moon. The moon moves around the earth in about 27 days. It takes exactly the same time to complete one spin. As a result, only one side of the moon is visible to us on the earth. The moon does not have conditions favorable for life. It has mountains, plains and depressions on its surface. These cast shadows on the moon's surface. Look at the full moon and observe these shadows. Asteroids. Apart from the stars, planets and satellites, there are numerous tiny bodies which also move around the sun. These bodies are called asteroids. They are found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Scientists are of the view that asteroids are a parts of a planet which exploded many years back. Meteoroids. The small pieces of rocks which move around the sun are called meteoroids. Sometimes these meteoroids come near the earth and tend to drop upon it. During the process, due to friction with the air, they get heated up and burn. It causes a flash of light. Sometimes a meteor, without being completely burnt, falls on the earth and creates a halo. Do you see a whitish broadband like a white glowing path across the sky on a clear starry night? It is a cluster of millions of stars. This band is the Milky Way galaxy. Our solar system is a part of this galaxy. In ancient India, it was imagined to be a river of light flowing in the sky. That is, it was named Akash Ganga. A galaxy is a huge system of billions of stars and clouds of dust and gases. There are millions of galaxies that make the universe. It is difficult to imagine how big the universe is. Scientists are still trying to find out more and more about it. We are not certain about its size, but we know that all of us, you and I, belong to this universe. Earth, solar system, Milky Way galaxy, the universe. Can you relate yourself with the universe now? You are on the earth and the earth is a part of the solar system. Our solar system is a part of the Milky Way galaxy, which is a part of the universe. Think about the universe and the fact that is contains millions of such galaxies. How do you fit in the picture? Answer the following questions briefly. How does a planet differ from a star? What is meant by the solar system? Name all the planets according to their distance from the sun. Why is the earth called a unique planet? Why do we see only one side of the moon always? What is universe? Take the correct answer. The planet known as the Earth's twin is Venus. The pole star indicates the direction to the north. Word origin. Many words used in a language may have been taken from some other language. Geography, for example, is an English word. It has its origin in Greek, which relates to the description of the earth. It is made of two Greek words, ge meaning earth and graphia meaning writing. Find out more about the earth. Logy means study of the earth. Metry, measurement of the earth. Oid, resembling the shape or form of the earth. Do you know light travels at the speed of about 3 lakh kilometers per second? Yet even with this speed, the light of the sun takes about 8 minutes to reach the earth. Interesting fact, Neil Armstrong was the first man to step on the surface of the moon on 21st July 1969. Neil Armstrong. A satellite is a celestial body that moves around the planets in the same way as the planets move around the sun. A human-made satellite is an artificial body. It is designed by scientists to gather information about the universe or for communication. It is carried by a rocket and placed in the orbit around the sun. Some of the Indian satellites in space are INSAT, IRS, EduSat, etc. Interesting fact: Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus have rings around them. These are belts of small debris. These rings may be seen from the Earth with the help of powerful telescopes. Which is the third nearest planet to the Sun? Earth. Asteroids are found between the Mars and Jupiter. Latitudes and longitudes. Motions of the Earth. As you know that the Earth has two types of motions, namely rotation and revolution. Rotation is the movement of the Earth on its axis. The movement of the Earth around the Sun is a Sun in a fixed path or orbit is called the revolution. The axis of the Earth, which is an imaginary line, makes an angle of 66 1/2 degrees with its orbital plane. The plane formed by the orbit is known as the orbital plane. The Earth receives light from the Sun. Due to the spherical shape of the Earth, only half of it gets light from the Sun at a time. The portion facing the Sun experiences day, while the other half away from the Sun experiences night. The circle that divides the day from night on the globe is called the circle of illumination. Circle of illumination. The circle does not coincide with the axis as you see in the figure 3.2. The Earth takes about 24 hours to complete one rotation around its axis. The period of rotation is known as the Earth day. This is the daily motion of the Earth. Do you know the ancient Indian astronomer Aryabhatta had stated that the Earth is round and rotates on its own axis? What would happen if the Earth did not rotate? The portion of the Earth facing the Sun would always experience day, thus bringing continuous warmth to the region. The other half would remain in darkness and be freezing cold all the time. Life would not have been possible in such extreme conditions. The second motion of the Earth around the Sun in its orbit is called revolution. It takes 365 1/4 days, 1 year, to revolve around the Sun. We considered a year